All right, I'm Tom Hayes, and welcome back to another edition of 1 Minute More from Global Coin Solutions. Scott Hutchings joining us again. Scott, this is our second go around. Tell me how Global Coin Solutions is doing, sort of in a general sense.
Well, I think as most people could say, we could be doing better, and we'd like to be doing better. We're having lots of discussions with lots of charities. We're engaging with different organizations, different types of charities, and there's certainly lots of interest. We just need to get a couple of organizations over the finish line, so to speak, and
Right.
you'll start seeing a lot more of foreign currency fundraising out there, which will be fantastic. Um,
Right. And you've been with us now for a few months, a great sponsor of 1 Minute Morning, um, to raise awareness, uh, perhaps is your biggest hurdle, right?
yes.
People see the commercial for currency for kids and whatnot. People talk to me about it, and it takes some explaining to understand the absolute massive upside.
Oh, yeah, and that's unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword, or it's a two-sided coin, if you will. Being the only organization like this of our kind is great from a competitiveness perspective, but it's also very challenging from the awareness point of view. And we've appreciated the partnership with 1 Minute Morning.
1 Minute Morning.
But yeah, creating the awareness, letting people know just how easy this can be, letting charities understand, getting charities to understand how simple this concept can actually be.
So let's
So
try and connect the dots here. We've got roughly, as the commercial says, what, over $2 billion sitting on the shelves of people in Canada, foreign
yep,
currency sitting on people's shelves, correct?
yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
you need that money, which we could call dead money, really, because it's not doing anything.
No,
And you may not be going back to India, you may not be going back to Brazil or wherever this foreign currency is from. So it's pretty much dead money. How do people understand how important that money can be if they can get it to you?
everybody is familiar with a penny drive, right? I mean,
Right,
just over 10 years ago, the Royal Canadian Mint said, we're not making any more pennies. We're
right.
going to rounding. And charities went crazy doing penny drives. A foreign currency or mixed currency collection program is going to bring in anywhere from 8 times the value of pennies to 20 times or more. So if we were so hot to trot on pennies, and everybody understands what a penny is going to buy you, right? You want to buy a coffee at Tim Hortons and it costs $2. Well, that's 4 rolls of pennies. That's a significant amount of pennies.
Hmm.
But there's a number of coins out there that there's a single coin is worth $2 or more. And so when you start to realize that there's a lot more value to be had in foreign currency with us processing it, the opportunity is it's significant. It's there, it's real, it's tangible. Pennies take a ton of work relative to their value.
Hmm.
So if we've got a I think what is the number? 1 kilo of pennies, I think, is worth $3.87, right?
Mm.
So that means it's 387 pennies. That's what it is. But a kilo of mixed currency could be $30. It could be $60. It could be $100.
And if
And
you get your hands on that $100, what can you do with it? What can you turn it into?
70 cents on the dollar at the very least is going back to the charity.
So
And
so your business and processing whatever accounts for 30% of that $100, and 70% of it that's collected from somebody's shelf goes to charity. And,
correct.
and what do those charities do?
we're talking food banks. So we had a conversation yesterday with a local food bank, and they're going to be coming on board very quickly. So they're going to be collecting. They're actually they're at a local market every weekend, and they're going to be collecting at that market, which is
Right.
fantastic because you've got foot traffic.
Right.
People start to know that they're there and can drop it off easily enough.
So
Uh,
that's 70% of that dollar that you're collecting is going to help fill up a food bank.
it can be a food bank, like the Currency for Kids program. It would be children's aid foundations, and they are involved in so many different things, including food insecurity. Um, we work with uh, Air Canada Foundation as an example, and they work with children's charities across Canada,
Right.
children's charities, children's hospitals.
Right. So food banks, children's programs, like these are fantastic programs for
Yeah,
money that is pretty much dead. So
yeah.
what's the best thing you can say to somebody at home that may have currency sitting on a shelf?
Well, consider pulling it all together. Maybe even have a conversation with friends and family around you. Ask them if they have any. The answer is likely yes.
If they want to get this money to you for your program, where do they drop it?
So we have a number of partners around Ontario right now. So the Currency for Kids program is one that there's over 50 locations, and we have
Right.
all those locations marked on a Google map on our website. So you can find those locations locally.
So
Um,
Continental Currency is a
Continental
participant,
Currency Exchange, yep, they're
right?
a big supporter of this program.
Great. So you
Uh,
can go in there with your coins, which by the way, they won't take back anyway.
no,
They'll take back bills, but they
right,
won't take back coins. So it really
right,
is dead money to you. So you
right.
while you're at Continental Currency Exchange, you can just drop the coins in the Global Coin Solution bucket or the Currency for
Yep,
Kid bucket, right?
correct,
Okay,
correct.
that's
Absolutely,
easy. There's lots
it
of them
is.
around, right?
There are. Our objective is to help as many charities as we can. Right?
Right.
There's so much money out there. It's not being used right now. It's not being tapped properly. Um, and so if you're not near a Currency for Kids drop off location, you're not near a Continental, as an example, or you want to support something different, then there's two ways to go about doing that. One is reach out to that charity and say, "Hey, are you doing this? And if not, have you thought about it?"
Right.
Um, the second is send it in to us and tell us what charity you want it to go to, and we'll make sure that it gets back to them.
Right. So they can send the money directly to your office and you're just by the airport.
Absolutely. They can send it to us. They can drop it off, send it by mail. People send it by Purelator even.
And they can get all this information on your website, which is
Globalcoinsolutions.com.
globalcoinsolutions.com. Tell me about your interest in the Google Ads program.
So, one of our charity partners some time ago started using Google Ads, and the Google Ad program, or the Google Ad Grant program, provides charities with $10,000 a month in free advertising in Google
Wow.
Ads.
Wow.
And so he was able to create Google Ads that utilize this program and created such awareness for the the foreign currency fundraising program that they had, that he was getting donations in from across Canada. He was getting Canadian money sent back in from the United States. People would see the ads on Google and they would just mail it in with a little note.
So are you
We
doing this now?
Yep, we will support any organization who either has or wants to have a foreign currency fundraising program with support to create to set up the Google Ad Grant program, and then to create the ads that are going to be effective, that are going to drive people to mail in their donations.
So if the charities want to take advantage of that 70% on the dollar from you, you can work with them in these Google ads.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's $10,000 a month of
Wow.
free advertising on Google.
Right.
And there's no cap. They can go 2 months, they can go 12 months, they can drive it out as long as they want.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So $3 billion or $2 or $3 billion potential.
Yep.
The frustration and the excitement from your end is getting your hands on that money, right?
Uh,
And knowing the great work that that money can do.
yes. Yeah, absolutely. We've over the last 10 years, we've processed over $25 million in value in mixed currency. It's all been one coin and one note at a time because that's the only way that you can sort
And
one currency
you
from.
guys still count it
We
by
still count
hand,
it.
right?
Yep. The counting part we are able to use machines for, but the actual sorting, the separating of this currency from another currency, that's all by hand. So we're putting people to work as well, which is another thing that we need these days. We're also a living wage employer, so we're paying people a decent wage, and it all goes hand in hand. The more charities that we work with, the more money is raised for them, and the more people it takes on our end to actually do the work.
Right.
So it's a win-win-win all the way around. And on top of that, the concept of repatriating this coin and recirculating it in its country of origin means it's being reused. An ecologically friendly approach to fundraising that it's good all the way around.
You're giving it new life, really.
We are. If we didn't do this, it would just sit here until the next spring cleaning that you did, and you looked at it and you said, "What am I going to do with it?" Or you're moving, you're downsizing, whatever it might be. You look at that jar and say, "I haven't touched this in how long? And what do I do with
Years.
it?"
Yes. Well,
You're
now
going to
we know
throw it out.
what to do it. Now we know what to do with it. So anybody listening here and watching here knows what to do with it. They need to get that money to Global Coin Solutions. So 70% of every dollar can go right back into our community, food banks, children's programs. It's just a win-win situation for everyone. And it's such an upside from something that really is valueless sitting on your shelf, right?
Correct.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
let's just wrap up. Where do they go? Tell us your website again.
Globalcoinsolutions.com. Straight and simple.
Globalcoinsolutions.com. You can go there and find out locations of where you can drop money. You can find out your contact information.
Yep.
And if you want to participate with Global Coin Solutions, if you're a charity and you want to participate with Global Coin Solutions in a Google Ads program, you can help them with that as well, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, Scott, listen, I appreciate all your support with 1 Minute Morning. It's been great to partner with you, and we certainly wish you all the best and all the money in the world, or at least 2 billion worth that's sitting on shelves right now.
Hey, we'd love to get that into the hands of charities. Imagine what we could do.
Imagine what you can do. Yeah. Okay, Scott, thanks very much for joining us on 1 Minute More.
Thanks very much, Tom.